Ever since I saw a Joule Thief circuit on YouTube, it got me interested, and I bought some of these little 2 AA 3-volt packs at the Radio Shack before they closed down, and I made a little Joule Thief light with some stuff that I got from Radio Shack. Well, later on I decided that I would want to put bigger bulbs in it. So I got 10 millimeters. They put out decent light, depends on which ones you get. Also, this can be a charge port, and you can also measure the voltage of the battery. You can do without this and just use a alkaline, which you'll get more light that way, and it'll last longer. But rechargeable will last several years instead of maybe a year in this thing, as much as you use it, who knows. But anyway, you take a box. These come from Radio Shack. I'm sure anybody that's does electronics knows about these things. Radio Shack went under and now they don't have them, but people were selling these things for like $6. I'll show you where to get them cheaper, but when I found them they had 10,000. Now they have only got 300, and that's only been a couple months. And what you want to do is pop these little pins out, take the wires out, take this out, the other negative. Take the wires, twist them together, make a loop. You're going to want to cut the wires to certain lengths. There's enough wire here to do this whole project if you just cut them right, and don't cut them too short, don't cut them too long either. You're going to want to tap in. If you use a charger, you're going to tap in twice on your positive, once for the charging port and once for the switch. Down here's, you'll solder into this side for your ground, your negative. Okay, here's the case after the 10 millimeter holes have been drilled in it. I take mine to a machinist. Here's the diagram for cutting. 0.715, 0.032, 0.358. There's your diagram to set them up in the mill. You're going to need some heat shrink tubing. I get these switches at Radio Shack. They're still in business online, and online I got this 275-0624. When I ordered them, it was buy one get one free, and they sent me a code for 15% off, so I got them for less than $1 a piece. Well, if you include shipping, they're a little bit close to $1. I got 20 for $19.10, and then it's like $5 shipping, which you can't beat it. Okay, got the magnet wire, 26 AWG magnet wire off of Amazon. I think it was $10 for 630 feet, somewhere around here. Okay, you're going to need a TIP 31C NPN transistor, 220 ohm resistor, ferrite core. I get these out of office machinery. Little tubes or noise suppressors, And some ring really good, some don't, but the green wire seems to make the ones ring even better. A couple of 10mm LEDs, that's what you need to make this. The box and this right here is what you need to make this whole project. Okay, you gotta have your core done, and one thing you want to do after you wrap this, go through all the trouble with wrapping all your wire, you want to make sure it works. Test out your circuit on a breadboard. Make sure that your core works. Here's your resistor. There's your transistor. It's all set up standard Joule Thief. Okay, what you next you want to do is solder your positive to the center, negative to the right, and your resistor on the left. And then what I do is I trim off the lead on the resistor and put some heat shrink tube on the positive and negative for the transistor, and I cut off the top. And you got to make sure not to get it too hot, and sometimes snips will damage it, so be careful there. Don't get it too hot when you cut it off. I use a Dremel tool. Then wrap it in heat shrink again, and this is what you come up with. 2 of those pieces of wire are going to go to your LEDs. 2 of those pieces of wire, which is the same loop, but there's still more wire left over. One's going to go to your transistor base. It's going to go to your core, your coil. This is going to go from the coil to your resistor, and then this one is going to negative to the battery. Here's your core, your coil core, your switch. This is going to go to the switch. This is your power into the core. This is going to the transistor base, and this one's going to the resistor. Here's your charge port set up. This is where you want to be conservative with your wire so that you have enough to do your charge port. I trim off the pieces that I don't need, and I like this one's a little, it's $1 something. Yeah, I'll put the link in there, but I like it because it's enclosed. Negative to the battery, positive to the battery. And you want to take your LEDs and get some heat shrink tube and put them all together where they fit. This is kind of a little pain, but it's worth it. And you get them to where they'll fit. And this is before you drill your holes and everything. Then after you get your holes drilled, one of these is going to go to the switch. One of them is going to go to your recharger. Your recharger port is going to go to your negative. And then this is what your circuit's going to look like when you get finished. You're going to have your core here, and then the transistor, and then your LEDs. Now the red wire here is going to go to your to your switch that will eventually go to the battery when it's switched on and off, and the negative goes to the battery bottom right here. You're going to solder it in right there at the bottom, along just like this right here, with the black wire from the charger. Solder your black wire to the negative post, and this is pretty much what you're going to wind up with. tiny lining flashlight. It's rechargeable with solar. Here's some of the ones that I've made, and the green one winds the best. These came from Radio Shack before they closed down. They're excellent bulbs, and you cannot find them, and the ones that they try to pass off as these are not these. So if they are in the silver pack and you find them, they're authentic. If not, if they're in a pack like that, don't buy them. And there's the blue one. The blues and reds came from Radio Shack. The greens came from Chanzon, C-H-A-N-Z-O-N. Unfortunately, they're not. The red, white, and blue came from Radio Shack, and the green came from Chanzon. And unfortunately, right now, they're not available. The green ones. These will, some of them will put out beams over 50 feet or more. And here's a little thing you plug in and put on a tester to see what your voltage is on the battery. And this is just the first solar charger I made for one, and it's been working for years. So there you go. You got solar powered light in your pocket, and whatever color you decide to make it. I was getting these green ones for $6.66 for a bag of 50. The Radio Shack ones were outrageously expensive, $4 a piece or something in the store. But this is a really cool light. And it winds really, really well. So there you go. I'll put down all of the details on where you can get all this stuff in the description.